The new challenge Hall of Illusions is out for a limited time, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to beat all 5 stages. They do all have different teams, but they all have very similar characters in common. So we'll go through them one by one. I'll show you guys the characters I'm using. I'll talk about the builds that I'm using for the characters, and we'll just do a little trial run. I'll show you guys how it goes. So starting with stage 1 here, I am going to be using my team 4. I do have these kind of in order. So this will be stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, and then my stage 5 is team 5. I don't know why I did it in this order. I just kind of saved my teams in this order, but I do have all my teams pre-saved. So this is the team I use to beat floor 1 or stage 1 in one go. And in order to get 3 stars, you have to clear the stage, you have to have all your characters alive, and you have to do it without Longress, which is actually fairly easy. So we're going to be using Witch Queen here as our healer slash the ability to get Asta low enough to just nuke. And then we're going to be using these two for primarily defense so that our characters don't die, as well as to buff Asta up. This particular team works really well right here and could probably actually help carry you through the other stages as well. So with all that said, let me show you where my Asta's at, and then I'll kind of show you where my other characters are at. So my Asta is max duped. I do have max dupes on a skill card. However, I will say I think this is possible without having a max dupe skill card, and I would say you probably need him max duped himself, but as far as his skill card goes, I don't think you need that max duped. And then for his skills, I do have them level 5. I do recommend getting them to level 5 as soon as possible. In terms of gear, I do have mostly defense pieces on him, and then I have quite a bit of defense on substats as well as damage resist. So those things are going to help you out a bit. As for accessories, I do have all LR accessories. I got those from the Hall of Illusions. That's where you can get those if you are able to beat the regular Hall of Illusions at higher difficulties. Now, I will say that these challenge stage Hall of Illusion stages are not necessarily going to be easy for people. Keep in mind this is endgame content for the most part, so if you're struggling to beat it, understand why, but hopefully this will kind of give you guys a place to start and give you an idea of what to do. As for talents, this is kind of what I'm running on Asta. I am running the attack plus 7%, the damage dealt plus 5%, and then I am running the grants debuff immunity when his health is below 35% and defense plus 20%, and then I am running accuracy and penetration as well as debuff immunity when he resists damage. And then for my other characters here on Witch Queen, I am going to go over her. I will be using her in quite a few of these runs. If I show you my gear here, this is kind of the gear I am running on Witch Queen right now. I may or may not switch it up depending, but this gear I kind of set it up for more if you have 2 dupes into her. Right now I don't have any dupes into her, but she still works fine. The main thing you need to have on her specifically is speed. So if your Witch Queen is not outspeeding Asta, it makes it a lot harder. So ideally you have higher speed than him. If you don't have higher speed with a half set, you might need to go for a full mobility set. In my case though, I like having the extra HP and the extra defense just to give her a little bit more survivability. So that's how I built her with HP pieces here. I haven't re-rolled any of the stats or anything yet, and they're all only plus 8 and not plus 12, but that's my build for Witch Queen so far. And then in terms of talents, I don't have anything for her talent tree and nothing upgraded on her skills and no dupes into her skill card or anything like that, right? So Asta is really your main DPS, the one you really need kind of maxed out. As for my William, he is maxed out, but it's just not necessary, okay? It just happens that I pulled a bunch of extra copies of him when I was pulling for other characters, and that's why I have him duped out. In terms of talents, not much going on for his talents either. I don't have much done on him at all, really, either. And then the Charlotte, though, I will say I do have stuff done to her. Specifically, having your skill 2 upgraded is really nice because it increases the amount of attack you can give to Asta, and that's really, really good. And then I do have her counterattack upgraded if I want to have the counterattack, as well as her combo, which reduces damage taken, which is really nice. So having her skills upgraded is actually good because it's going to just help give you more survivability in different stages. And I use her in a couple different stages as well here. And then as for her talents, I do have all of her talents done, and you can kind of see what I have here for that. I have grants stacking crit rate, I have attack plus 7%, I have the defense, and I have the stacking defense and crit resist, and then I have the grants SP plus 1 and damage resist for her talents right now. I also do have a speed talent stone there, which helps her be a little bit faster than my other characters, which is nice. And I do have her 2 duped, so I am getting her enhanced passive of upon taking 1 damage, she gets SP plus 1. So all that stuff is kind of what I'm rocking, and let's go ahead and hop into this. All right, for stage 1 here, you actually want Asta to be faster than Witch Queen. You want Witch Queen to actually be slower than Asta. So I did take off one piece of speed gear that you guys saw in the build before on Witch Queen, so keep that in mind. There is a reason for that because whenever you attack Mimosa, she gets invulnerability, which is really annoying. So just keep that in mind. We're going to go ahead and we are going to do our Fortify buff here. All right, gives everybody Fortify. That's fine. Now we're going to go ahead and we are going to give everybody extra defense and attack. And now we are going to go ahead and give a defense up with Asta. So everybody's looking good on defense. She does have invulnerability right now, so we can't really do too much damage to her. Now we're going to go ahead and use our ult with Witch Queen. And that's why you want her to go second. That way you can get the defense up with Asta before you drop him into anti-magic with Witch Queen. Now we're going to go ahead and we are going to speed up Asta and give him extra attack. Mimosa should attack us right here, but hopefully everybody survives. So everybody does survive. Now we're going to go ahead and we are going to give damage reduction to the entire team, but we have to attack one of the side units. Make sure you don't attack Mimosa or she will get invulnerability. So we do the combo attack, gives damage reduction to the whole team. Now we go ahead and we ult Mimosa and hopefully we one-shot her. And there we go, she is one shot and out of the way. Our team is pretty tanky, they're not really going to do much damage to us, so we're good. And now we just literally have to kill off these side units. So that's the easiest way to get the stage done. Once again, you need your Witch Queen to actually be slower than Asta on this particular stage. If she is faster, it makes it like infinitely harder. So just keep that in mind. And that's probably not the typical strategy that most people come up with, but hey, it works out pretty well, as you can see. There we go, that guy's dead. Everybody's still alive. We will complete this with 3 stars right here. So we'll go ahead and... the healing's a little bit annoying, but like we're gonna win, right? There's no chance he one-shots any of our guys. He doesn't do that much damage. There's that, and we have counterattack on Asta if we really need it, but we don't. And there we go. And that would be a 3-star clear right there. As you can see, clear stage, all live, clear without long rest. So that is stage 1. Hopefully that helps you guys out for stage 1. I am going to put the speed gear back on Witch Queen because it doesn't hurt her on the other stages. But for the first particular stage, you do need to take off a piece of the speed gear so you're not getting the speed set bonus. But with that, let's take on stage 2. All right, so this is my stage 2 team, and this is a little bit RNG. I found it honestly a lot of fun to take on the stage versus the King Wolves. So there are 3 waves to the stage. The first 2 waves literally do not matter. You just have to survive through those waves without dying. So it's actually pretty easy. They don't do a lot of damage. So you're going to bring along these characters, and basically your goal is just to buff the crap out of Asta so that eventually he can nuke the enemy guy when you get to the final phase. So with that said, let's go ahead and do this. All right, so the first 2 stages of stage 2 literally do not matter. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and give extra attack and defense to my people. Doesn't really matter. You don't really need it. They're not going to do that much damage to you. They barely hit you at all, and eventually all these guys will run away, so it's not a big deal. I am going to use the defense just to make sure I don't take too much damage, but like, really, you can get away with using skill 1 for the first 2 waves, and it won't make a difference. None of these guys really do any damage for this particular stage. They do all just run away though, including the boss who you have to kill before he runs away on wave 3. And that is the tricky part of this. So basically you have 2 turns to nuke the boss on wave 3. If you don't nuke him within those 2 turns, you lose. So that's wave 1 done. Now we get up to wave 2. Let's just go ahead and use skill 1. Once again, does not matter what skill order we use, what skills we use. As long as we have skill 2 and our special skills up for wave 3, that's all that really matters. Alright, we'll go ahead and do this. And so when it comes down to wave 3, it is going to be a little bit RNG. We need to hit a crit, and if you don't hit a crit, you don't win. And my Asta is max dupe skill card. And still, without hitting a crit, I can't beat it. Now, that's not to say you need to have a max dupe Asta max dupe skill card. It certainly helps out a lot, but if you get lucky with the crit, you can still do it without a max dupe Asta or max dupe skill card. All right, these 2 guys are going to run away, and now we get into the final wave where we are going to want to use our skill 2s first. So we're going to go ahead and use skill 2 here, buff up Asta's attack, so increase all attack. Now we're going to go ahead and use the special skill with Sally. It's going to increase his attack and crit damage. So attack and crit damage up. Now we don't want to use our special skill with Witch Queen yet. We'll use skill 2. Poison, bleed, burn, all that stuff helps out a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead, this is really important, raise our defense with Asta, because remember, he does more damage the more defense he has. He sits down, he's getting ready to run away. Okay, so be aware of that. We'll use a combo skill here. Alright, 9,794 damage. We want to extend his buffs if we can. Extend buffs, give him extra crit rate, which is very, very important. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put him into anti-magic. Now he has anti-magic, and if we take a look here, you can see all the buffs that he has. He has a bunch of attack buffs, defense buffs, all that stuff is good. We need to hit a crit here. Okay, so let's hope we hit a crit. And we did hit a crit, and as you can see, when you hit the crit, you are able to one-shot the boss. That took me about 3 tries of recording this, just so you guys know, so it's not guaranteed. I'm going to show you the one try right here where it succeeded, but it did take me about 3 tries of re-recording this to actually land that crit, so if you don't land that crit, then you have to reset. It does take a few resets, but luckily this stage isn't too hard. Let's move on to stage 3. For stage 3, this is the team I'm running. You're actually able to run a debuffer on this stage because you can put debuffs on these guys, which made me like the happiest person in the world, because a lot of these other stages you can't run debuffers on, or they're immune to debuffs or whatever. But the Charlotte works really well if you have her. Specifically, you want to have her skill 2 upgraded if you can to at least level 4, so you have a 100% chance to inflict mark, and then also you get the defense down, and then the Mark is also going to reduce their defense by another 20%, making it very easy for your Black Asta to kill if you get him into anti-magic form. As for gear, I do have a half mobility set and a half defense set on her. You can see here, not the best. Like, this is actually really bad. I have an SSR and a UR. Like, this is terrible gear. So if I can do it with the Charlotte, you guys can definitely do it. I need to put better gear on her. I didn't realize it was that bad until just now looking at it. But with all that said, let's go ahead and hop in. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we are going to start by doing Fortify because I don't want anybody to die. Then we are going to be able to hopefully attack with Asta here in a second. So we'll go ahead and do this. Marks, defense down on everybody, right? Very important. Here comes an attack on Asta, not a big deal. Now we can go ahead and do the anti-magic. All right, and then here comes that. Not a big deal. Get the counter attack, and she's almost dead. He's looking pretty good, so now we can go ahead and just do this. That is her dead. And now we can go ahead and we can ult. She comes back to life, of course, keep that in mind. And now we go ahead and do this again. And he dies. It's kind of annoying, right? But here we go. Do that. He's dead. Officially. Now we go ahead and speed up Asta. Again. Everybody has Fortify, so it's fine. Not a big deal. Go ahead and do this. Alright, and if Asta gets his turn right here, we should be good. And you have to kill all 3 at the same time. That's the important thing. So we'll go ahead and do this. Hopefully we should kill all 3 at the same time right there. And then boom. If you don't kill all 3 at the same time, it's a bit of a pain, but there you go. That's how you do it. And notice we didn't have lifesteal, so you don't have to worry about Asta getting out of his anti-magic, which is really cool. So that stage, honestly, one of the easier stages. But yeah, hopefully that helps you guys out. And you can see the damage right there. Just look at the amount of damage. It's absolutely crazy for that particular stage. Let's move on to stage 4. So this is my stage 4 team. I am actually running this Noelle, who I don't run that often because she's going to be able to reduce the attack for the first attack. We also have William for Fortify. We also have her for extra defense and damage reduction. And the goal here is actually you don't have to clear this with everybody alive. So your goal is just to keep Asta alive until his stacks go away. And you'll see what stacks I'm talking about here in a second. All right, so Yami's going to attack here. He doesn't do too much with that first attack. The next attack is really going to hurt though. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start by doing the Fortify. And that also gives Asta counter attack right there. It doesn't really matter though, because he'll get the chance to go before then. Then we're going to go ahead and we are going to, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Give extra attack to Asta as well as defense. And then we'll do this to reduce the amount of damage that he does. And so somebody might die right here. Yep, she did. That's fine. Not a big deal. Now we're going to go ahead and give extra defense with Asta. And now we want to go ahead and speed up Asta. And now we're not going to use the ult just yet because we want him to have anti-magic, right? We're going to give counter attack to him, and then Yami's going to attack right here. Hopefully Asta doesn't die, he'll get the counter attack, which he doesn't, right? So he gets the counter attack right here. Big damage. And then now we just go ahead and ult him, and that's wraps. So that's how you do that stage. Pretty straightforward, right? Hopefully that helps you guys out, gives you an idea of what to do for stage 4. And Asta, as you can see, is just kind of the GOAT for all of these. You can see his damage there. That leaves us with one stage left, and let's talk about how to 3-star. All right, so we are back to the same exact team we started with, except for this time we're going to keep the speed on Witch Queen, and we are running William and Charlotte. These guys are really, really good. You've seen them a lot in these particular stages. We do have to clear this with at least 2 technique characters, so here's your technique characters, and then we're doing this with 2 power characters as well. Let's hop in. All right, so we'll see who he attacks here at the start. Good thing he did attack Asta. Sometimes he'll attack William, and that's a rip when he does that. We'll go ahead and we'll speed up Asta. All right, so Asta's speed up has extra attack. He will get ready to cast. We will go ahead and we will do this with Charlotte to give ourselves damage reduction. And now we're going to go ahead and give ourselves some extra defense. And they did not attack Witch Queen yet. Okay, good. So now we can go ahead and get the anti-magic with Witch Queen. Alright, we got the anti-magic with Witch Queen. That looks good. Alright, they attack Asta. That's fine. Now we're going to go ahead and... Ooh, we did lose the Fortify with William, though. It would have been nice to have that Fortify for extra damage reduction. I think we might still be okay. So we'll see. I would have also liked to have gotten Charlotte's skill in before Asta. Unfortunately, he was too fast, so we're going to ult and see how this goes. 605,000, he still died. Okay, so that worked out fine. Ideally, you kill him before he gets the chance to cast. Right there, I would have liked to have Charlotte go first, but in that particular case, she didn't. So now we're actually okay, and from here, we just need to kill these 2 side units who don't do a ton of damage. They're just annoying because they get rid of some of your special points sometimes. Let's go ahead and do this. There is no way they're going to one-shot any of our guys, right? So we're probably okay. Go ahead and give Fortify to everybody, just to be doubly sure. And at this point, it's just clean up, right? After you've killed the main guy, literally just clean up. Do this. A little bit of damage to him, not a big deal. And we're just going to focus this right one first, try to kill him as quickly as possible. Here comes an attack. On Witch Queen, she barely takes any damage, we're fine. Almost dead. Yeah, let's just give the counterattack. Why not? Their counterattack on Asta if we end up needing it. Defense up again. And this stage is all but over, right? So you guys know I'm just literally muddling through this, trying to kill off the last ones. But yeah, that is how you do stages 1 through 5 for the new Challenge Hall of Illusions. Hopefully this just gives you guys a place to start, gives you guys an idea. Once again, end game content, not everybody's going to be able to do it, but eventually, you know what characters to work towards, what strategies to do and stuff like that. So hopefully that was the goal here, just to give you guys a guide, to give you guys an idea of how to beat all 5 of these stages, to get 3 stars on all 5 of the stages, and to get all the rewards, because there are honestly some really, really good rewards. You get selection gear chest, which I have already claimed. You get some black crystals, and you also get a frame that shows that you beat this. So hopefully that helps you guys out. If it did, please consider going down there, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel. Peace.